Chapter 85. Grand Marshal of Zhennan. The Great Ying Dynasty was established, and King Liu Yang rebelled. Yingzhou declared its independence. The news reached the dynasty capital of the Great Jin Dynasty in the first instance. For a time, the dynasty was shocked. The civil and military officials were summoned to the courtroom at the first opportunity. Outside the hall, a group of guards were patrolling back and forth with extreme caution, and the entire palace was filled with a murderous aura. Outside the hall can feel the suffocating depression inside the hall. There is no noise in the hall, only the sound of a gentle finger knocking on the armrests of the dragon chair, a finger knocking, very light. But, in this pin-drop audible hall, is like a sound of thunder. Not to mention the internal ministers. The guards guarding the door were also feeling a sense of breathlessness at this moment. There was such silence for a long time before a voice came from within the great hall. King Liu Yang has rebelled. Since all the ministers have nothing to say, then I will leave it to the third prince, King Shenwu, to deal with it. Those who have objections may now speak up, and I will forgive him for his innocence. To be later. I don't want to hear any more dissenting voices. A majestic voice came out. A dead silence once again fell in the great hall. Obviously the group of ministers at this time. No one dared to jack rebellion. That is the great crime of treason. Even with Liu Yongwang, friendship is good. At this moment also dare not plead for mercy. Although the tone of the scent is bland, but there is an unquestionable will. Dry outline dictates. A word presses the masses of words. Feng Long Shenwu as Zhennan Marshal, give Gold Tiger Talisman, can mobilize all the troops in Yongzhou. Pacify the rebellion, clear the rebellion, deterring the eastern border. Yongzhou officials, all at the disposal of the Grand Marshal of counterinsurgency. If there is any disrespect, they will be punished for treason. His Holiness' voice came again. Long live His Majesty. The group of ministers shouted long life. They should drink what the sun said. Long Shenwu was the Grand Marshal of Zhennan, and the group of ministers had no objections. The imperial decree and the tiger symbol were the first to be transmitted towards Silver Moon City. At the same time, the Great Jin Dynasty is the announcement of the world. Wu Liu Yongwang treason. Notify the people. For a time, the people of the Great Jin Dynasty were in an uproar. King Shenwu is the Grand Marshal of Zhennan, and can mobilize all the troops in Yongzhou to quell the rebellion. When Emperor Liu Yong calmed down the civil unrest in Yingzhou, King Shenwu also received the order to form an army and prepare to quell the rebellion. The state of Yongzhou is at the mercy of the army. Great Ying Dynasty. In the palace, Liu Yong coldly looked at the news coming from the front line. King Shenwu, Long Shenwu, HMPH. Sure enough, the old thing has plotted from the beginning. Let Long Shenwu raise troops in Yongzhou early. Long Shenwu has been sitting in Yongzhou for 15 years. Yongzhou's officials and generals have basically long been under its skillful control, and now a holy decree. It's more of a name. In less than 2 months, Shenwu King's army will gather at the border comprehensively and begin to fight with me in Yingzhou. Emperor Liu Yong put down the war report in his hand and said coldly, "So, Your Highness, within 2 months, we must straighten everything out in Yingzhou." Mo Yaika nodded. Ocean. Liu Yong looked to the side at the Dragon Prince. Aoshan stepped forward. Labor you more. The dragons are in full force, responsible for breaking the city. There are still 4 cities that are resisting. Give me the first to break the city. Anyone who resists, kill without mercy. Liu Yong said in a deep voice. Yes, Your Majesty, Aoshan answered. Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty. The valley outside Foothills God City. The faux stone god looked at Wangfu Chouj with a worried face. Your Majesty, King Liu Yang's army is withdrawn. However, the Zhengjin sect doesn't know what kind of sickness it has committed. But it actually started a full-scale war against my Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty, leading a large army. and in the process of attacking our cities and ponds, the false stone god frowned. The Zhennan sect master personally led the sect's experts, as well as the 15 million troops from the 18 cities and pulls towards my divine foothills imperial dynasty, and reports from the front line that the Zhennan sect has completely torn up its alliance with my divine foothills imperial dynasty. Are they trying to take advantage of the fire? Huangfu Chaoj fell into deep thought. Robbing while the fire is burning. Mr. Huangfu, you're looking at him too superficially. Gu Hai shook his head and said, "Oh, these days, I've been going through the information you gave me, and what do I see? This Zhennan sect should be King Liu Yang's hidden troops," Gu Hai said in a deep voice. "Oh," Huangfu Chaoj said doubtfully. "The Zhennan sect has been established for 1,000 years. The foundation of the sect is a golden god puppet. This golden god puppet is also considered a spiritual treasure, similar to our imperial seal, used to suppress the chi of a sect. And I checked the information. King Liu Yong just happened to exterminate a demonic beast race, the saber-toothed tiger race, 1,300 years ago," Gu Hai said in a deep voice. "Oh, saber-toothed tiger race. Seems a bit impressive." Huangfu Chaoj nodded. "The tiger demon is gold. The god of the saber-toothed tiger clan should be the gold god. And after the death of the gold god, 300 years later, the Zhennan sect was founded. It's too coincidental, isn't it?" Secondly, King Liu Yang's 3 military campaigns against the Zhennan sect. Your information shows that they were all painless wars, not considered to be any great wars. The Gungjin sect came out of thin air. A group of strong people appeared strangely, grasped 18 cities, was isolated, did not fight with the outside world, and silently developed on their own, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. "But this doesn't mean that it's King Liu Yang's deployment, or to the side," Lu Shishen said doubtfully. "But for 1,000 years, King Liu Yang's people have never visited the Zhennan sect. And the Zhennan sect's group of elders, apart from Chu Chen who came out, the others have never visited Yingju either," Gu Hai said in a deep voice. "Not visiting for 1,000 years, 3 painless wars. They're deliberately setting aside their relationship." Huangfu Chaoj's eyes narrowed slightly. "The Zhennan sect is King Liu Yang's ministry. Then if the Great Ying dynasty adds the Zhennan sect, wouldn't it be possible to impact an imperial dynasty?" The Lushi god's face changed. "It's more than that." Gu Hai shook his head and narrowed his eyes. At the border of Yingju, there are 2 imperial dynasties and 2 lower sects, in addition to the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty and the Zhennan sect. There's also the Great Brilliant Imperial Dynasty and the Greedy Wolf sect. My analysis. These 2 forces are also deployed by King Liu Yong. King Liu Yang's accumulation of thousands of years is more than just one Yingju, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. The Zhennan sect, the Greedy Wolf sect, and the Great Huang dynasty. All of them are King Liu Yang's deployments. Impossible, the foothill god abruptly exclaimed. These 3 forces, each of which was not weaker than the Divine Foothill dynasty, were actually all King Liu Yang's properties. If the 3 forces were to strike at the same time, how would the Divine Foothill dynasty be able to fight? King Liu Yang's power. It's also too big, right? Huangfu Chaoj said in surprise. Yeah, it's very big. These 3 forces together. There are around 80 cities. It's not on par with Yingju anymore. If he merged with Yingju, the Qi and luck would converge. King Liu Yong would be a great emperor today. The Great Ying Emperor dynasty. Unfortunately, he didn't merge. He still let those 3 forces lurk. If not for the Zhennan sect suddenly striking out, I wouldn't have thought about it yet, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. King Liu Yang is hiding really deep. Huangfu Chaoj frowned. Deep? Oh, nowadays. But there is one that I haven't figured out yet. But it's the south of your 4 major forces, Gu Hai frowned. Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty. Huangfu Chaoj's face changed. Not bad. The Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty. It's a behemoth. Your 4 major forces combined are not a match for the Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty, right? Gu Hai laughed. Huang Fu Chaoj laughed bitterly. That's Imperial China. We're just a lower country of the Imperial Dynasty, a lower sect. How can we possibly compare to him? The Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty is incredibly strong, and our 4 major forces are just sandwiched between Great Yuan and Great Jin. Could it be that this Great Yuan Imperial Dynasty too? Gu Hai shook his head and said, I have too little information at hand for the time being. I can't feel it yet. I always feel that he has a certain relationship with King Liu Yong. But it's definitely not King Liu Yang's deployment. He's just like a hungry wolf that will endure, waiting for an opportunity to kill in one strike. Oh, Huang Fu Chaoj was slightly stunned. Mainly, when King Liu Yang's soldiers attacked the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty in the past, these several forces actually turned a blind eye and behaved strangely, so I had to connect the dots. Those 3 forces should be King Liu Yang's industry, while the mighty Doyuan Imperial Dynasty is hungry for wolves and hiding, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. If it's really as you expect, then it's indeed troublesome. Huang Fu Chaoj frowned. I have another proof here, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Oh, the great Jin sage, not too long ago, allowed King Shenwu to take full responsibility for King Liu Yang's rebellion and sealed what? Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Grand Marshal of Zhennan, to the side, Faux Stone God spoke up. Yes, Grand Marshal of Zhennan. Why isn't it the Grand Marshal of Coming Rebellion, but the Grand Marshal of Zhennan? Zhennan, we're here in the southeastern part of the Great Jin Dynasty. Zhennan, suppressing the south, or suppressing the south? Gu Hai said in a deep voice. You mean, it's not just King Liu Yang's rebellion, there is, the Foothill God was stunned. At the height of the Great Jin Sage, every name, every title will be deliberate. Grand Marshal of Zhennan. Oh, let him be complicated. Today, what we are facing is a war from the Zhengjin sect, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Yes, the Zhengjin sect also has quite a few experts, with 18 cities under their command. This time, 15 million troops are killing us, but it's a lot of trouble. And from what you said, there's also the great brilliant Imperial Dynasty, and the greedy wolf sect are all deployed by the Liu Yang King. So will they be? Huang Fu Chaoj fell into deep thought. Actually, it's not difficult to crack the Gongjin sect's incoming attack, Gu Hai laughed. Oh, hit the snake with 7 inches. Just kill them with 1 stick, Gu Hai said in a cold voice. How to beat them? Huang Fu Chaoj said doubtfully. Fighting a snake. There is a possibility of being bitten by the snake. Now, it depends on Mr. Huang Fu. Dare to let go and fight with it. If you lose, you will be bitten by the snake. And the Divine Foothills Imperial Dynasty will be greatly injured. If you win, you will kill the snake with a stick. You die and I live in a battle. One battle will determine the winners. I don't know if you, Mr. Huang Fu, dare to gamble on it. Gu Hai laughed. Destroying the Zhengjin sect in one go. How is that possible? The Faux Stone God, however, said in disbelief. Gu Hai, however, stared at Huang Fu Chaoj. Mr. Huang Fu, nowadays, the Divine Foothills Dynasty is in danger, surrounded by hungry wolves. If we drag it on, it won't be one Zhengjin sect, but a pack of wolves pouncing on it. There will be no chance. Since the Zhengjin sect dares to come and bite, then we should hit it on its 7 inches at once. I can set up a super grand formation to take care of them all at once. Super grand formation. Yes, 29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal grand formations. It requires a huge amount of spirit stones, so huge that, of all the spirit stones in your entire treasury, at least 1 billion top-grade spirit stones, are you willing to take a shot at it? A wariness flashed in Gu Hai's eyes.